Good day, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Papa Moved to Mexico. Today we're driving my daughter's car. This is a 2019 GMC Yukon Denali. It is a beast. It is quite large, much bigger than the Subaru, and we're running a few errands today. And this episode is going to be from Arkansas. So a quick report on the sale of the Subaru to Carvana in San Antonio. That went off without a hitch. They had made me an offer online based off of how many miles it had on it, the features it had, and the condition that I said that it was in. And so they made me an offer, which I really think that the offer they made me is probably about $2,500 less than I could get if I were to drive it back to Central Arkansas and sell it to a private individual myself, okay? Having to do that and the logistics of getting that done would have increased my cost, and I would have had to have stayed here longer. And nah, I'm retired. I live on the North Shore of Lake Chapala. That's where I want to be. The salesperson buyer with Carvana, she contacted me, verified my appointment and my information. I arrived on time. She was ready for me on time. She looked over the car. Of course, I had to have the title, and gave her the title. She looked over everything, and she had the little kit where she plugs in to get reading from the computer on any faults or codes, anything wrong with the engine, transmission, things like that. And of course, that was all clear. And she had a check ready. She gave me my check for the amount that they promised. I was there. It took her about 10 minutes to get everything squared away. So I was there for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes total is all it took. And then I Ubered back over to the La Quinta in North San Antonio, hung out, then flew here to Arkansas the next day. I have been visiting with the grandsons and the daughters and the sons-in-law for the past several days, having a good time, helping them get ready for back to school. Took one of them shopping to get a few shirts. And now I'm on my way to, we had some deliveries at the other daughter's house. So I'm going to head over and pick those up. For this week's weather report, here in the Central Arkansas area, it has been literally a high of 100, 101 every day, with dew point in the mid 70s, 75, 77 dew point. It is that time of year in Central Arkansas that it just does not cool down. So I checked this morning on the iPad to see what Sherry and the Palm Cheese are experiencing, and the day started off at 64 degrees today on the North Shore of Lake Chapala, and they're on their way to a high of 77. So that was a smooth $83. So when I return, I need to head to the Telcel store because something went wrong with my Mexico phone number. I've been holding off doing a segment on me getting my Mexico cell number because I'm not sure if I'm going to be recommending this service or not. The salesperson at the Telcel office where I initiated my Mexico phone number, while I was driving the last leg from the Texas border to San Antonio the other day, she's texting me about how my service has been disconnected, and she doesn't know why. She got a notice about it. So I told her that I was traveling, and my phone had already swapped over to the U.S. number. We keep Mint Mobile, okay, for our U.S. numbers. There's a lot of reasons to keep a U.S. telephone number. One of those good reasons is for banking and two-factor authentication things. Sherry is just keeping her United States number and buying a minimal data and text package for Mexico each month. That's how she's approaching it. And so I decided to go ahead and get a Mexico number, which is a second eSIM for my iPhone 15 Pro. That is active when I'm in Mexico. When I cross the border, it swapped over automatically to be my Mint Mobile phone number for the USA. The cost for my Mint Mobile, we pay annually, and it is only about $200 after taxes, fees, and all that. It's about $215 for a year that we pay. We pay in advance for a year for about $215 for our U.S. phone numbers, and that covers us for everything. So that's an expense to be sure that you anticipate keeping a U.S. phone number for two-factor, multi-factor authentication purposes, and your like your U.S.-based bank accounts and things, credit cards. You'll need a U.S. phone number to most often to do business with them. So that's moving to Mexico tip for this week. Keep your U.S. phone number or a U.S. phone number in some type of account that you have access to while you're in Mexico. But I will need to go visit her to see what the issue was, what the problem was. So today I went and got my Mexico cell number. There's a lot of reasons you have to have a Mexico cell number to do any banking. Like, for example, I'm going to need to pay for my internet bill through an app, and they'll only do that with a Mexico telephone number. So I checked with a few friends and got some recommendations, and so I went to the Telcel store down in the village, right next to Alex's Pasta Bar. Yep. To the Telcel store, and I met up with Anna. Okay. If you have any questions, any needs about a new cell phone, go see Anna at Telcel. So here's all the goods. Here's what happened. Okay. First of all, a couple of tips. I want to keep things in order here. Make sure your phone, if you're going to get an eSIM on your current phone when you're there, make sure that all the updates on your phone have taken place. So while you're connected to Wi-Fi at home or at your Airbnb, before you go to Telcel, to the store to see Anna, make sure you do any updates that need to happen on your phone, especially your iPhone. We had to update my iPhone while we was there. Okay. Bring your passport, because they need to register your new Mexico line to you. And because if you're a foreigner, you need your passport. That's how they know who you are. Okay. So update your phone, take your passport, go see Anna at Telcel. Okay, and so I pulled in at about 10 o'clock in the morning. There was one person there. It took about 3-4 minutes for them to finish with the nice gentleman that was ahead of me. I told them I wanted a new number. They called me back, and we went through the available packages. And I could either get 3.5 gigs of data per month or 5. I chose the 5 gigs. I probably will never need that, but it is, oh, hey, hang on. Yes, this has happened again. We need to all get used to it. Okay, so I chose the the middle package, 300 pesos per month, up to 5 gigs of data with unlimited talk and text. Okay, so once I decided that, she started keying things in. She found out my phone was not updated, so we had to do a quick update on the phone. That took about 10 minutes. So, while I was there a total of about 30 minutes, you may only take 15 to 20 minutes, okay? All right, and so I chose the option to pay for a full year in advance, okay? And the reason I did that, there was a promotion, and I don't know if I was required to pay a year in advance. I just chose to do so that I don't have to worry about it for another year. 300 pesos per month, and there was a 200 peso additional charge, and so I paid 3,800 pesos for one full year of unlimited calls and text with up to 5 gigs of data per month that roll over. Okay, that's important. My unused data rolls over. I got a new number, no issues, no problems, easy peasy. I know that there's some other folks that have had trouble, worry about which plan to get, if they were even allowed. I had no troubles whatsoever, and they took care of registering my number with the federal agency that does that. Easy peasy, Mexican phone number, done. For this week's viewer questions, a couple of gentlemen have asked, since I sold my car, my Subaru, what am I going to get? And how am I going to go about getting it? How much do I plan to spend? Those kinds of questions. Now, I have a list, a hierarchy of what I want. Now, my first choice that I just can't get, it's going to be impossible. Well, not impossible to get, but it just would not work well on the north shore of Lake Chapala. My number one choice would be a GMC Yukon or Chevrolet Tahoe. But they're just too large for the small lanes and the small parking spaces around a lot of towns in Mexico, especially north shore of Lake Chapala. So that's just not practical. After that, my next choice would be a Gen 5 Toyota 4Runner. But those are rare, and the ones that are available in Mexico are very, very overpriced. So it's not realistic that I could find a good shape Gen 5 Toyota 4Runner. So I'm not even going to worry about it. My third choice is a real possibility. A Toyota Highlander. They're nowhere near as big as a Tahoe, and they are popular in Guadalajara. So there is a supply of used ones. I cannot afford a new vehicle, so I will be getting a used vehicle. And I've looked, the available 2017, 2018 year model Toyota Highlanders are in my within my budget. Okay. with low miles. Now the miles are harder in Mexico with rougher roads, topes, especially if they're all city traffic in Guadalajara. So if I'm looking at one that has just 80,000 kilometers on it, that's really probably equal to the 120,000 kilometers with the rougher roads and the topes. I think after the Toyota Highlander, my next choice would be another Subaru Forester. And I would say lastly, well, not quite lastly, next would be a Toyota RAV4. They are popular in Mexico as well, and they are a bit overpriced for what they are. Looking at the newer body style, 2018 and newer, they're really no more expensive, or they're really no less expensive than a Highlander that's just a year or two older. But that would be the next on the list would be Toyota RAV4, 2018, 2019, right along in there. And lastly would be a Honda CR-V. I would prefer to have an older one with the 2.4 liter engine in it, the tried and true bulletproof 2.4 engine. So that's the plan for what I would be looking for. Now, how I'm going to go about it is there are a couple of dealers in the Lakeside area that have excellent reputations. I'm going to hire them to evaluate any car that I find if they don't have it themselves to sell to me, and I will pay their fee to make sure that it hasn't been severely wrecked, that it hasn't had any flood damage, that there are no issues getting it titled in my name in the state of Jalisco with no difficulties. So I'm going to go that route to double check. I do need to open up a checking account here, well, there in Mexico. I'm in Arkansas right now, and I already have my RFC, so I'm going to open up a checking account. I've already asked in the Facebook groups which bank to go to, which one is friendly to gringos on temporary residency. So how that's going to go, I'll include in an upcoming episode of Papa Moved to Mexico, Retired Life, Lake Chapala. So that is this week's answer to viewers' questions. What I'm going to purchase to replace the Subaru Forester XT Touring, and how I'm going to go about getting it. We have a very busy day today. We are on our way. First, we're going to take the trash to the curb. Then I need to go to the Telcel store to straighten out a problem with my cell phone. I got to buy some water. I got to get Crunch and Munch, the puppy food for the dogs. I need to go by and pick up a prescription. Wow. The track's going to get a lot of work today. Let's go. So I returned from Arkansas a few days ago, and the expedition to find a new automobile has begun. I will keep everyone up to date on that. And got a new bike helmet and a new seat. So here is the new seat. The one that came on my Mojo Bison Pro was quite hard, and so I did a quick Google search. The search I did was best bicycle replacement seat for old fat butts. And that is this is the one that popped up. I bought it off of eBay and had it delivered to my daughter's house in Little Rock, and I brought it back with me. It was delivered to her house, about $30 US, I believe, okay? And I also have a new helmet. I got me a new bike helmet from Target in Little Rock, one that's much better, and I was able to put my mount on it. Okay, let's see what the point of view looks like from the helmet cam shot. Let's give it a go. Helmet cam. I don't know how often I'll want to do this. Just turning my head from side to side, how does that look? Is this something we want to do more of when I'm driving around on the trike? So the problem with the cell phone account was self-induced. User error on my part. I didn't know any better. I thought if I just downloaded Telcel, the app, and entered in my phone number, I could see my account and manage things. No, what it did was created a whole new account for me and paused my current one. So Anna and her assistant there at Telcel in Ahihi, she took care of it and reset me back to the account that I had bought and paid for in good shape. So user error, the silly gringo taken care of. Well, that's all for today's episode of Papa Moved to Mexico, where we examine what life is like on the north shore of Lake Chapala. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and give me that like button. The YouTube algorithm loves the like button. And please leave a comment and ask questions. Questions really help me know what content to include in upcoming episodes. GoPro, stop recording.